What is up, my friends? Welcome back to Effie Watches Things. My name is Effie, this is my channel, and I like to watch things. The only reason I seem so happy-go-lucky today is because I know Bobby's alive. Also, I'm sick. Again. I think the last time I was sick on this channel was, it was like my second 911 episode on here, which was, I think, episode 10. I was sitting here with, like, it was bad. I had, like, a stomach bug at that point, I think, and I was, like, no makeup. I was, like, dying. Eddie was leaving for Texas at the end of it. Oh my god, it was like the worst day of my life. I'm not insane, I'm just dedicated. Anyway, speaking of not insane, just dedicated, who wants to see my new water bottle? It's got my little 118, look. It's got my little 118 up here. It says Buckley on the lid right there. I love it. I love this. Also, if whoever made this sticker watches this channel, the I'm not Satan, my name is Buck sticker. If you watch this channel, you're my new favorite person. Because when I found that sticker, the amount of laughter that scene gave me, and I found this oh my gosh, that was the best day of my life. Thank you for making this sticker. Also, actually, scratch that. If anyone watches this channel that made any of these stickers, thank you. Because you have contributed to my absolutely insane water bottle. Another development in my personal life, I got my hair cut. If you're noticing, I actually don't have my beanie on for once. How exciting is that? It's because I don't need it. It's because I shaped my hair. I didn't shape my hair. My lovely, wonderful hair person shaped my hair. Thank you so much, Summer. I was starting to look like a Yu-Gi-Oh character without the beanie. Okay, I don't know if you guys wanted to see that. Also, another reason Bobby is fine, it's Athena month. Tim, you wouldn't dare make Athena go through the grief of another husband. / partner, because her last one was her fiance, and then her husband, and then her husband again. You wouldn't do that to her. During her month. It's Athena month. Speaking of Athena month, this is the calendar. If you don't know about the calendar, go pick up one for yourself. The link is in the description below. I made a 911 calendar. I put a couple months into it, and I really enjoy it, and I'm going to start slowly, once this season is over, I'm going to start slowly working on the next 911 calendar for 2026, which will be released probably, if I had to guess, maybe August, September, probably more closer to September, so people can start getting their calendars for the next year. So there will be another one. I am planning on doing another one because this was really, 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 really fun to make. So I'm going to start thinking about putting it together now that the season's almost over. We're getting stills for all these episodes. I have material to work with, but if you want a 911 calendar for yourself, we are almost halfway through the year, but it is still available. So it'll be available until like the new one comes out probably. So go get yours. It's really cute. I won't tease too much, even though you can see all the months on my TikTok, but next month is if you're a fan of a specific ship, next month will be really exciting for you. Last thing before we get started, I got a new little comfort stuffed animal. Still has a tag on. Sorry, I'm used to leaving tags on. I don't know why. This is my new elephant. I got him at work, and I named him Bobby out of comfort. So this is Bobby the elephant, everybody. He's been kind of just chilling with me for like the last week, and he will continue to chill with me for the next. What do you say we jump right into the episode where Bobby just resurrects? I think that's a great idea. Oh, and one more thing. My friend is in, I believe, this episode as an extra. Oh, Bobby, no. She filmed as an extra. All I know is she sits behind Jennifer Love Hewitt, and it's where there's a lot of people, so it's like maybe a big event or something. So I'm guessing it's this episode. The timing adds up. She filmed it a couple weeks ago. So I once some crowds pop up and I see Jennifer Love Hewitt and I see her sitting, I will be pausing to try and spot my friend. That's the last thing. I am stalling still, you know, I am stalling a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna put Bobby here for now because we don't need his comfort yet. But I have a very, very large feeling that we will. We will be needing it. I feel that deep in my soul. So with all that being said, grab your comfy blankets, because if there's any time you need a comfy blanket, it's now. And let's jump straight in to 911 Season 8, Episode 16, The Last Alarm. I know Athena investigates a kidnapping or something. Oh, this is flashback probably.
Stop, wait!
No! Please tell me the baby got out. No. We're not starting off an episode like this. No, 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 we're not starting an episode off like this. We're not starting this episode off like this. No.
This is North Remembrance Hall. In addition to our
Tim, I swear to God, this is not happening. I might dissociate for this entire episode. This is just not happening. My brain hasn't accepted any of this. I've spent the last 2 weeks. Just saying he's fine. As have all my friends.
I just don't think it's right. I don't think my husband would want to be inside. Appreciate your time, Mr. Powell, but...
She doesn't want to, she doesn't want to decide on anything because it's like not happening.
Federal, state, and local authorities, they still haven't released his body.
Have they not? Oh, have they not? Interesting.
Seems wrong. Everything about this
is wrong. Exactly, it's wrong. It doesn't feel right.
Is Chimney ready? He said we would drive in together this morning. First day back.
He reminds me so much of my little brother. Every once in a while, I'll get like a flash of my little brother when I see Buck.
He's talking to the counselors, though, right?
He's been doing.
Bro, I'm getting so much of my little brother from him this episode. I don't know why.
Because until he's in the ground, nobody gets to move on.
Okay, guys, I know this is.
Thinking about Bobby and how he died.
Can we stop fighting, please?
Why are you looking for Captain Nash?
I was hoping he could help me keep my sister out of prison.
Oh, do you think that that's the woman that lost her baby?
Attempted kidnapping.
Who was her intended victim?
She thinks it's her son. Yeah, okay.
Who she has become convinced is not dead, but living in Santa Clarita.
That's my home! Oh, that's actually lifted a little bit of a weight of this episode, just hearing my hometown kind of like set out. Thank you! Oh, okay. Are we gonna go? Oh my God, are we gonna go to Santa Clarita? Oh my God, I'm so excited.
And 4 days later, she's calling me from jail.
She could very well be right. Mother's instincts.
First, I'd like to start by offering my condolences.
I don't like that you're here.
And I'm not going to be returning as your captain.
Okay.
I'm just here to get you through this difficult transition until Chief Simpson can appoint a candidate more worthy.
Okay.
What he meant to me personally.
Chim can't do it. No, he can't do it. He can't do it. Which is understandable. But I am glad that he's not being an ass.
What, you're gonna give me a lecture on comportment?
No. Chance to cool off.
Yeah.
Give me a time out. No thanks. I'll just scrub the crapper.
Okay, I get it.
I know you're hurting. I am too.
I have been a dick. I agree.
I am your captain.
Yeah.
Only because I killed our last one. So
no, you didn't. Bobby, I'm gonna need you to rise from the grave, like right fucking now.
Until I handed him the bag and I saw the birthmark. This tiny little heart on the inside of his wrist.
Same birthmark?
I kissed that birthmark every
That's pretty damning.
Prenatal yoga class together?
Yes, until she stopped attending. I remember some of the other mothers saying,
miscarriage, maybe. Putting the pieces together.
Heard stories of women so desperate to have a baby they'll even cut one out of another woman.
Oh, I was there for that. I was there for that. What was that? Season 2, maybe?
Start a fire.
3. Season 3. Maybe. I might be wrong about that. Can't remember.
Not this, okay? What's she talking about? I don't know. She's crazy.
Okay, but no, you know what she's talking about. But also, this is not the way to go about it.
He's alive.
She's got
crazy.
No, I don't, because I think my husband's fine. This is kind of connecting. I thought I buried my son. I thought I buried my husband, but he was alive. I'm telling you right fucking yes. The house. Why, like, literally, why would you have this whole storyline? They're building a home together and then he's just gone. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. None of this makes sense to me. Maybe I'm used to shows like Doctor Who announcing when someone's leaving and then I can prepare for it for the future, you know?
You gonna start a podcast?
I think I almost got it figured out.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. This is mean.
How can you know that?
I know you.
Yeah.
You knew me.
No.
Past.
Stop it. Stop it. Don't look at me like that. Don't talk to me like you're trying to give me advice on how to deal with this, sir. I can't deal with that, okay?
Harry, you really shouldn't be here for this part. I can call you with the results.
There aren't going to be any results.
What?
He's not in there.
Casket is
Empty.
It's empty because it was a fire.
We didn't know how to tell my sister.
They never found a body.
The fire.
So they thought he was just gone.
There was nothing left to bury.
Nah, this whole thing stinks from top to bottom.
I misheard something.
It stinks from top to bottom, gang. If you never hear from me again, you know what to do. Get in the comments, okay? If they don't find me, it's because I was chopped up and fed to the pigs.
You respect them. You trust that they can make the hard decisions. You don't just blindside them and then take off. You don't leave them to deal with the mess alone. He left me. He didn't want to. And he did anyway.
Oh, hold on. Okay, can we just like can we bow in honor? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bow to Angela Bassett. My brain has still not accepted that Bobby's gone. Like, it's literally, it has not processed anything because it just refuses to click into place that any of this is happening. But holy shit, I want to talk about this from a technical standpoint and not a story standpoint. Angela Bassett? Ugh! Oh my god! Ma'am. I love you so much. You are phenomenal. You deserve every award you have and will ever have gotten. Based on just that alone. You are so talented. Oh my god. Oh god, she's amazing. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
These are DNA results from vocal swabs taken from Cameron Myers and his mother, Heather Myers.
And they're a match?
Hers
It's a match.
was a match.
You're kidding.
Micah is gone. I'm so sorry.
But I was so sure.
I was so sure.
For a moment, you let yourself believe that miracles were possible.
I feel like I'm losing him all over again.
Please don't do this to me. I know you're talking to the audience. I know you're talking to me, and I really don't want you to be doing that.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
How did you keep going?
This is before Buck. This is during the Little Black Book. He was in pain.
Come here.
I wanted to see May again, but not under these circumstances.
We have breakfast.
Breakfast for dinner? I'm down.
Also brought some sleeping bags.
I thought we were gonna go to Santa Clarita. I was really excited to dissociate and just go back to Santa Clarita.
So I had to go to the airport and pick up
Hey,
this one.
hey, I missed you, bestie. Oh, he hasn't shaved. He's probably going through it. It pisses me off that he didn't get a goodbye with Bobby.
Yeah,
It really pisses me off.
I should have been there. Hey, you're here now.
It pisses me off that he didn't get a goodbye with Bobby. It really pisses me off. They had a relationship too. Like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean he found out off the phone and we don't see anything?
Oh, wait. Not my funeral. Just should have been.
It's not fair.
I knew this was gonna hit him hard.
No one blames you.
But he blames.
Hey.
Oh, he
I
blames.
don't blame me either.
Yeah, he blames Bobby.
I blame him.
This is how his grief is manifesting.
And I kind of hate him for that.
And you're allowed
I
to.
don't mean that.
No,
Yeah, Buck, I do.
he's allowed to. It's what he's feeling.
Do not let those be the only two crappy options available. You always find the third way.
I agree.
You know who taught us that?
Yeah, Bobby did.
For the last 8 seasons.
We always did that time after time.
After time after time. I agree.
We always found a third way, and
Yeah.
we always did it together.
Yeah.
I think there was a third way.
There has to be. Because it's what's been done the whole time. 8 seasons.
The last 2 weeks thinking on it.
Me too. Did you do this on purpose? 2 weeks break for this? Oh, God. You formidable, beautiful, perfect woman. No, that's the picture from No Place Like Home. Season 8, episode 4 was over there. I love that picture. I have that picture on my phone right now.
An officer would tap out a special signal. 10 bells.
I'm like dissociating so hard right now.
Notifying them of the passing of one of their own. Station houses.
I swear to God, that's the bottom half of my friend's face. I'm like dissociating, and my brain is ping-ponging all over the place, and I'm having a breakdown, and I'm pretty sure that's the bottom half of my friend's face. I know my friend's face. Is that you? I swear to God, that's you.
He has completed his duties. A job well done. And has now returned home.
I don't need to see May cry. Why are we doing something that's making May cry?
Please stand.
I reject it. I say no thank you. This is not something that's happening right now. It just doesn't, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, no tear. Don't have a tear. If you have a tear, I'm gonna have a tear, and I can't have any tears right now. I can't have any tears right now. Stop it. I swear to God, if this episode doesn't end with him waking up in his fucking grave.
Where have you been, my blue eyes?
Here it is. The leak heard round the world. Is it Minnesota? Oh, oh no. Oh, it's gonna be by his family, isn't it? It's gonna be by his kids and his oh no! Marcy and the kids. No. Screw you, Tim! Screw you! I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Cause like, I understand that the B-side, I'm talking in terms of music right now. My brain is just everywhere. In terms of the B plot, I understand that the purpose of the B plot was to help everyone else move on. Was like, hey, I believe this person's alive, but turns out they're not. I know that's what they were doing with the B plot, but also there were too many little things in the B plot that are now making my mind twisted. Like, I literally still can't let it go. You buried them, but it turns out they're still alive, kind of thing. But and then she's like, oh, but they're not. But like the similarities were, but like then I know the purpose of it is to help us move on. I don't know what to do. What really started to make me go, shit, that blows my whole theory out of the water is it's been 2 weeks. And they haven't released his remains yet. Like, it was like, that was like it did 2 things though. It made me pause, go, shit, my theory. But it also made me pause and go, why haven't they released his remains? You know? And the whole empty coffin thing. Like, maybe he's not in there. Because, like, something happened to him with, like, a horrible virus. What if he's not even in the coffin? It wasn't an open casket funeral. I have 2 more episodes left of this season to hold on for dear life. And by God, I'm gonna do it. Let's just watch the promo for Don't Drink the Water. I know from set photos, I don't know if there's been any set photos for this episode. I know there's been set photos for the finale, Seismic Shifts, which I guess maybe is going to be Earthquake 2.0, the second earthquake of the show, maybe. And I know from that Eddie's going to be back working with the team. I'm wondering if that's happening in this episode, if he's already back when this episode airs next week. I don't know. Let's watch the promo and just go from there.
The best thing for the 118 would be you as captain. What if I don't want it?
That would be amazing, though.
Next Thursday.
Like, we've all been saying, Hen.
Methane is on tap, with Angelinos reporting flaming water in their faucets.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's like a tinderbox! Engine strike! We are minutes from an environmental disaster.
Shit!
911.
Oh my God! Everyone was also theorizing. I thought it was like a joking theorizing. I mean, I was joking theorizing, but I was also theorizing. I was like, haha, what if? Like, wink. The episode's called Don't Drink the Water. So we were like, Gay Eddie 2025 because of you grabbed the water instead of the juice. Tell me why that is. The whole scene with Father Brian. And I was like, yeah, that's reading into it, but haha, what if, wink, wink. Father Brian, I believe, is in the episode. From what I saw, someone said he was on the cast list for the episode. That could have been put there by mistake. I don't know. But Hot Priest is returning next week. Maybe. I'm 80% sure. Hot Priest is returning next week. So it was like a joke before. It wasn't a joke, but it was a joke, you know? It was like a ha. Is it still a joke? I don't know. But it turns out also there's going to be an environmental disaster going on. It looks like there's methane in the water, in the tap water in LA. This is why I don't drink tap water. I didn't even when I lived in California. I didn't even do that when I lived in LA County. We've had a Brita for years because I just refuse to drink tap water. So be like, oh, I'll get you some water from the tap. I'd be like, no, thank you. I will just die of thirst. Thank you. Like, there's another reason for me not to. Thank you, 911, for giving me another thing that I can be worried about. Actually, I was already worried about that. Thank you for reaffirming my fears. The reason I'm not, like, breaking down and sobbing right now is because I literally can't comprehend that this happened. Like Chimney said, I know this episode was for us and to help us say goodbye because of the way they were talking. He said time and time and time again, we have found that third option. So this cannot be it. Why didn't we find the third option this time? There has to be one. Like, what? It's literally like what he said. It's just not clicking. And I know they made this episode with the intention of helping us move on. I could feel that from the dialogue. I could feel that from the way the story was moving. Thank you for helping and trying to help us move on. Stupid decisions were made in the first place because he shouldn't be leaving. For creative reasons. For just to make it creative. Just to make it interesting. Tim, no. The show is plenty interesting on its own. This has been the best season of the show in a while. I can confidently say that. This is fucking it up. Okay? We don't need it. There's still time. Reverse the decision. Okay? Turns out the coffin was empty. Reverse it. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. I'm starting to crack. Also, my voice is starting to crack. Obviously, because I'm sick, but, like, also because I just can't deal with this right now. There's 2 more episodes. And if 2 more episodes goes by, and the finale happens, and he's still gone, I will start my grieving process. And I will try and come to terms with it. I'm at Athena level right now. It's just not, I can't do anything. I can't plan a funeral. I can't do anything. Okay? Because I don't want it to be happening. So, 2 more episodes time. When the finale finishes of season 8, I will put my hands in and I'll start to grieve. But right now, there's still a question up in the air. What if the casket was empty? If we saw his body in that casket, it had been 2 weeks. If we saw his body in that casket and it had been 2 weeks since they released his remains and they released them and his body was there and it was open casket and we saw it. If we saw that, then I would have been sure, and I think I would have started to then be like, okay, fine, I will start to grieve. But it wasn't. And it is a little final to me as well that he was buried with his original family, with Marcy, Brooke, and Bobby Jr. But I don't know, because that's very final, because that means something, you know, to be buried there. That really means something. So to, like, go back on it feels wrong. But also, like, I can't go there yet. So I'm going to hang on to the last little question I have, which is the coffin empty? He was exposed to a deadly virus. They could have maybe not wanted to put him in a casket. They wanted to keep him maybe for scientific research and not tell anyone, because it's the government. They don't have to tell anyone. Hello. Pay no mind to my messy room, and my no makeup face, because I'm filming this. What day is it today? Tuesday? I'm filming this on Tuesday, because I'm just now, sitting down to edit the episode. Oh. Remember how, I think it was either the last episode or the episode beforehand, but I told you guys that I needed like 1 to 2 business days to collect my thoughts and then get back to you on what I'm feeling. Normally, it's pretty much kind of in line with what I'm feeling after I watch an episode, so it only takes me like a day or two to be like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm feeling. I'll just edit the episode that way, voila, that's what I'm feeling. Nah, man. It's been, what, 4 or 5 days? It's been 2 more days, it would have been a week for me to get my head around what the fuck this was. I will let you know now that at the end of my reaction here, I don't know if I'm keeping it in or if I'm not, whatever, but if you hear me say, this was actually really, like well made, like, you know what, technically it was, like, technically, like, you know, filming-wise, I don't even know. Otherwise, I've changed my mind. This was horrible. This was absolutely terrible. Let me go through everything I'm feeling right now because I've got shit to say. Thing number 1, Angela Bassett is amazing. I just wanted an excuse to say that again. Just phenomenal. No notes. Beautiful. Love you. However, all the other characters, all of our main characters, all of our 118, I am disappointed. I'm disappointed on how this was handled, but I will say this is conditional disappointment. All of this, all of what I'm about to say, if Bobby turns out to be alive, when Bobby turns out to be alive, when Bobby turns out to be alive, this will all be a little bit more of a moot point. Not necessarily, because they still reacted as if he was not alive, so I feel like still this was a bit like, why would you write them like this, Tim? What the hell's going on? However, I'll be a little more forgiving, I guess, if Bobby's alive or when Bobby's alive. But we're gonna put all that to the side right now and go off this the way that they seem to want us to go off of it, which is that Bobby is dead. And if so, this was just atrocious, bro. First of all, let's talk about how, I guess, out of character some of the 118 were. First of all, let's talk about Buck first, just because, like, after seeing him make that face, I don't know which side it's on, but the face, after Bobby dies in the lab, and then he shows up at his sister's house and he's fine. Not fine, but like getting through it, grieving okay, has been through the stages and is on acceptance kind of thing, and just kind of a bit down, but like not destroyed. I mean, yes, therapy does wonders, but that was weird. That was very out of character for Buck. And yes, he could very well be holding it together and shoving it all down to make sure everyone else is okay, because that is what he does. He is the fixer. He's the person who fixes things. We know this. That could very well be what he's doing. But we as an audience wouldn't know that from the writing, because this episode didn't focus on the members of the 118, which is what I'm gonna rope this all into. This was the big problem with the episode, is that it didn't focus on the members of the 118. And because it didn't, Buck's character kind of fell through the cracks. Everyone's character fell through the cracks, but we as an audience don't see that Buck is maybe shoving it all down and just putting on a brave face for everybody, because we barely get any dialogue from him or anyone else from the 118, because there's a B plot of a kidnapping, which ropes in to trying to convince us that Bobby is dead, I guess. God, this was not good. Another character that fell through the cracks was Hen. We see her obviously down. Again, similar to Buck, they both are at the same level of sad and down and grieving, but like not quite the high level we would expect. I mean, with Hen, I feel like obviously she would be less out there about it as Buck would be in this situation, but so I feel like it was kind of in line with her character. However, we weren't able to really figure that out for ourselves because, again, we didn't get much interaction from the 118, if at all. So we didn't really get to see if her character was processing it a certain way, other than a hug from her wife. That's about it. Chimney is obviously struggling. I mean, fair. He believes that Bobby did give his life so that Chimney could live and have his family and go forward in life. Obviously, he can be pissed at him, like, he's allowed to be pissed at him, he can feel those feelings. I honestly didn't have too much trouble with how they handled Chimney's character in this episode, because I would be upset too. Having all that weigh on you, 100% understandable. That was fine. We got to focus a lot on Chimney in this episode. and I'm okay with that. I didn't have too many notes there. We got basically nothing from Ravi. I think 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. Maybe. Which sucks. Because I always love Ravi. I love seeing character development from Ravi. Oh my god, in episodes 14 and 15, I loved what we got from Ravi. It was very much like, this is my team. I'm in with my team. I'm part of this team. Let's do this kind of thing. We got to see so much from him, and I really did enjoy that. So getting like nothing from him in this really kind of sucked. And I get there's a lot of characters to go through, but like, you probably would have had time to do it if you just focused on the characters and not some random ass wacky side plot. I mean, it wasn't a wacky side plot, but you get where I'm going with this. Gerard, I mean, here's my thing. I don't have a huge problem with the way that they were portraying Gerard in this episode, because as we've seen Bobby kind of like, be like, oh, you obviously want to be here, you don't want to be captain anymore, I'll talk you through this, I'll be like this person that you kind of need to realize some things, and it's totally fine. And we did see them kind of develop some sort of rapport, to which Gerard ended up on their side against Councilwoman Ortiz. So obviously I'm never gonna like Gerard because of the shit he says and the shit he believes, but I don't mind where they went with his character there, about him being sad that Bobby's gone and being like, I'll never be able to replace him, I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to help you with the transition kind of thing. I was fine with that. I know a lot of people weren't, but I saw that that was where his character was going, and that didn't spike me as odd that that's where his character went. However, the reason that I was trying to figure out why it was a little bit of a problem in the back of my mind. And again, it comes around back to we didn't get much interaction with the members of the 118 and how they were feeling about all this. So I see online a lot of people talking about how they were like, what the fuck? Why is Gerard's character sadder than Buck or than Hen? Like, what the fuck is this? And now I'm realizing, okay, it's not that I'm upset. I'm not upset that Gerard is showing emotion, because I felt like that was where it could have been going. That's fine. It's that he's showing more emotion than them. And the only reason that we see him showing more emotion than them is because we don't get much from the 118 as a whole as how they're feeling about any of this. That's why. It's the contrast that's upsetting me. It's not the fact that the Gerard is feeling any of this. He could be, it could be Tommy in Gerard's place. It could be I don't know, who's a side character. It could be Albert, who we haven't seen in many seasons and I would love to have back. It could be Albert in Gerard's place. And I would still be upset because the contrast is there. It's not about the character, it's about the contrast. Why the hell aren't we getting our core group of people's emotions? But we're getting someone who's never here's emotions. That's what I'm upset about. It's not that it's Gerard, it's that it's not the 118, you know? Now the last person I want to talk about, and I left him for the end because I do really want to say shit about this, is Eddie. What the fuck? What the fuck was this? I didn't voice it during my reaction, but as I was watching the episode, every time a scene changed, I went, Eddie? Like, I was waiting for him to come in because I knew he was coming in, and I wanted to see how he was feeling about all this, because one of my main gripes is that we didn't get to see him find out that Bobby died. We didn't get to see him receive a call. It was all done off screen. So I was like, okay, I'm presuming he's going to show up in LA and kind of grieve with everyone else, and we're going to see him go to the funeral. It's going to be a whole thing where everyone gets together and grieves together. No. No, he went to the funeral, yes, we saw that, but he arrived in LA like a fucking hour before the funeral was supposed to happen? And there was 2 weeks in between episode 15 and 16, there was 2 weeks in between that time. I would have understood, lightly, not a lot, but I would have understood if Eddie had gotten the job at the firehouse, or he was working somewhere else and he couldn't get the time off, and so he was able to come for the funeral specifically. I would have understood that. Very, very small amounts, but I would have understood that a little more than whatever this was, because Eddie's an Uber driver. He makes his own hours. He has his own hours. So why did he wait 2 weeks to come down for the funeral? I don't get it. And then we only hear like one sentence from him, And it's, I should have been there. And then Buck saying, well, you are now. And then that's it. That's it? That's all we get from him, bro. I'm pretty sure, maybe there's another sentence or something of him saying, hey, are you coming, or something like that when they're leaving to go to the funeral. I don't know. I don't remember because it was insignificant, which it shouldn't have been. Eddie has his own relationship with Bobby, just like all of the members of the 118 do. He had a similar kind of paternal kind of relationship with him that everyone else does, like, especially like Buck does, because he says to Bobby at one point, I believe it was in season, oh god, I don't even remember. I don't remember what season it was in, so I'm sorry, I do apologize. But he says to him, oh, it's about Jonah. It's when Jonah the paramedic is there. When is that? Season 4? It's either season, no, 5. 5? 5. I think it's season 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he says to Bobby, whatever credit you take for Jonah being at the 118 and whatever blame you take for that, take some credit for me too, because you saved my life and therefore you saved my son's life as well. You've saved us. So, like, he's important to him as a whole on his own. So why did we get nothing from his character when Bobby meant so much to him as well as everyone else? Like, and why was he only there 2 weeks after, an hour before the funeral? What the fuck? And also, to build on that, we're done with Eddie, but to build on that, the funeral was only, what, the last 2 minutes of the episode? All that hoopla and weeks of like, oh god, is this Bobby's funeral? Oh my god, they're filming in the middle of downtown LA. Oh my god, this leak is crazy. And it's the last 2 minutes of the episode? For a main character? For the main character, mind you. He's the biggest picture on the poster. And the funeral's the last 2 minutes of the episode? And it's a montage funeral? We get a speech about, a generic speech about firefighting in general, not specific to Bobby necessarily, but to firefighting in general and what the last alarm means and what saying goodbye to a brother firefighter means. That's it. Just a montage with that layered over it. Are you kidding? It feels like an insult. It just feels like a major insult to Bobby's character. I don't understand what's happening there. This whole episode, as it was, feels like it was geared towards trying to convince fans that Bobby is dead. Which is why I don't think he is. But, like, I'll build on that in a second. But that's what this episode felt like. As I was watching it, I more and more was like, oh yeah, this is for us. This is to, like, comfort the fans, as I said while I was watching it. And then, like, now thinking on it, I'm like, this feels like a bitch slap. What is this? It feels like they're pointing at us going, no, 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 no. And that's really insulting to Bobby's character if he is. Like, why would you do that? Like, what? That's so insulting. Which is why I think that Bobby has to be alive. For 2 different reasons. One, obviously, because I want him to be alive. I would love for him to be alive. Just because, the half of it is because I just really want him to be alive. Duh. The second half is that because if it's not, it's really insulting. It's just a really bad episode and a bad way to say goodbye to a character. This does not feel like something that should have been made if they were going to kill off Bobby. This doesn't feel like the way they would have gone, because if they did go this way, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and whoever came up with it, Tim, is a real dumbass. Like, how do you, like... It's not even that, like, I was going for evil genius when all this was starting up, and I was like, oh, he's gonna be alive. Oh my gosh, he's an evil genius trying to convince us he's not. No, now he's just an asshole. Now he's just a full-on asshole, whether he's alive or not. Because, one, you spent so much trying to convince us he's dead when he's actually alive, if this is what's happening. And 2, whether he's dead or not, all the characters' reactions in this episode, and just the way we saw these characters in this episode, was, like, so unrealistic. If you're going for unrealistic, you did a very good job, because this just doesn't make any sense. It just sucks. And I say, and I think somewhere in my reaction I was like, I didn't cry, but I think it's for a specific reason. I don't remember what I said. I haven't gone in to edit my episode yet. But here's my thing. If we saw the 118 grieving and feeling all this, if this episode was focused on the characters and them going through grieving Bobby's death, if we saw those 2 weeks that it was off, like, with Buck going through all these stages of grief, with Hen feeling her emotions, with Eddie there the whole time, if we saw all of that, then I probably would have cried. I would have cried, or at the very least I would have been making faces like I was making in 816, just like losing my shit and hyperventilating to the point of passing out. Like, that would have made me feel shit, you know? I would have been way more inclined to get more emotional, but I didn't, because this was not that. This was not us watching, like, a group of people we've come to know as family in this show go through something terrible, but go through it together. This was like, I don't know, it felt like a I don't know, a scolding. It felt like a little lesson of like, like I don't know what this was, but it wasn't 911. This show is about like found family and people being close to each other and finding each other in times of crisis. This was not that. This was nowhere near that. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it wasn't that. I would have very much at the least would have loved to see like a group hug with the 118 of them just feeling it. When, here's the thing. When I had a friend that died when I was in high school, and obviously me and a lot of our friends, a lot of the friends that were friends with this person, we were all feeling grief. We were all feeling a certain way about it. And during the funeral, as it was coming to a close, we all kind of stepped off to the side and just like put our arms around each other. And like we made a little circle of just us doing this with each other. And just sometimes sharing a memory, sometimes just being in silence, just being together and feeling all of this together because we were all going through the same thing. I was expecting something along those lines. It didn't have to be a hug, it didn't have to be anything like that, but them talking to each other and going through this together, I would have expected to see that because I've been through that and I know what it feels like. We didn't even get to see like, I think the only interaction we really got that was like in any way someone trying to help someone through something was Buck talking to Chimney on the roof. I think Hen talking to Athena was something as well, because I was just enamored by Angela Bassett in that moment, though. I will say I haven't edited that scene yet. But I was expecting to see something like that. And we didn't get anything like that. I don't know, I felt cheated out of something important. I have no idea. I just don't know what to feel because this just felt emotionless. It felt pointless, you know? It didn't feel like someone died and we were all gonna get through it. It felt pointless. Which is why I think Bobby has to be alive. Because if not, this was one of the worst episodes of television I've seen. And that's saying something, because usually I find good things in everything I watch, so. But now I will take 2 seconds to talk on the possibility of Bobby being alive. I won't take as long as I just did talking about the episode, because this is all speculation. But, did you guys see the thing? I'm going to tell you about the thing. So if you don't want spoilers, I'm going to tell you about the thing. This isn't a spoiler necessarily, it's speculation based on what we've already seen, but I will tell you shit. So if you want to know nothing, click off. But like, I'm about to theorize, so sit with me here for a second. Someone on Twitter, actually I have it here, let me pull it. Someone on Twitter. Someone named Jack Sloaney, tell me if I'm wrong. Their tagline is Mads. Let me know if I'm wrong. And then after that, Cherry, if you guys know Cherry. Cherry is very active in the 911 circles. Thank you, Cherry, for sharing this because I would not have known otherwise, and I follow you on Instagram, and that's where I get all my theories from, so cheers. Thank you, Cherry. They posted, Mads and Cherry posted about in 8:15 interview with Tim talking about the final scene in 8:16 and the body bag and constantly going on about it. So they were like, I'm gonna rewatch it. And there is static. There's like, you know, walkie static. Someone talking on a radio. As they're bringing Bobby's body bag, that's hard to say, Bobby's body bag out. It's the very last scene. And if you listen to the radio and what they are saying, they say operate as white coat protocol. And a friend here did some Googling, and it turns out, let me pull it up here. Actually, I have it pulled up here. Let me find it. Okay, so Operation White Coat. Operation White Coat is a code name for a program which involves human experimentation with volunteers. The starting purpose of it was to develop defenses against biological weapons. People would volunteer to be tested on with really dangerous viruses and pathogens so that they could try and find treatments for them. That was Operation White Coat. Still kind of a thing, maybe. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But it's a thing in the US military. So, in that last scene, as they're bringing Bobby's body bag out, you hear on the radio, operate as White Coat Protocol. I think he's alive, based on that. Here's my thing. I think the Army is holding on to him. I think the US Army is holding on to him because he's alive, honestly, but they want to try and find a vaccine for this incredibly dangerous virus that obviously might not be as easily unleashed now that the only person who had it is seemingly dead or in their hands at the very least. But they probably don't want to take any chances, so they're probably keeping him there so they can develop a vaccine or an antidote or an antiviral or whatever to be able to use. So I think the US Army's holding on to him because too many things about this are adding up, right? Too many things. First, someone did some Googling a while back. No, this was not the Googling. This was something else. In the episode, they say that the virus has a 30% mortality rate. That's not the fucking worst. It's not the worst. It could be way worse. 30% mortality rate? I feel like that, yeah, if there's 70% chance you're going to be alive, that puts the odds in his favor a lot. Next, we find out, someone Googled, the virus can mimic death. That's something else in Bobby's favor. Not only is it a 30% mortality rate, but he can only look mortally wounded. It can very well look like he's mortally wounded. He could look very dead, but not be. Romeo and Juliet style, you know? Seeming dead, not dead. And then next to add on to that is White Coat Protocol. That's too many things adding up now that kind of scream Bobby's alive, you know? Like, if Bobby was really dead, why would you put this many things into motion, you know? Why would you include this many things, or why would this many things be included in the virus that Bobby contracts? Why not choose something like Ebola? Because they said in the episode it's like Ebola's meaner, angrier cousin or something like that. Why not choose something that's got a higher mortality rate? Why not choose something that definitely can't mimic death? It's weird. It's just weird. It's all adding up in a very weird way. So here is my prediction. I'm gonna end this here, and then we're gonna go back to the video, or whatever's left of the video. I don't even know where this is going in the video. So here's my prediction. I think 911 always ends its seasons in like a hopeful way. Like, it has a lighter note to the end of each of its seasons, slightly hopeful. Everybody's at home having dinner, everybody's in the firehouse having dinner, whatever. Everyone's gathered around, spending time with each other, in each other's company, because that's what this show is about. Found family, company, humanity, feeling shit together. So usually when 911 ends its season, it's usually like that. So I feel like we can't just end this season on a cliffhanger or an upsetting note. So I think at the end of episode 17, not 18, 17, Bobby, we're going to see Bobby in this army facility, whatever, opening his eyes. That's at the end of the next episode. If it's not the end of the next episode, I'll gladly wait until the next one. But my prediction is that at the end of episode 17, we'll see him in this army facility, opening his eyes. We'll see he's alive. And then episode 18, the finale, is going to be about navigating that and going through those emotions, coming back, being like, I'm alive, I'm okay, everybody finding out what happened, them storming the castle or something. I know episode 18 is going to be about, I know there's an earthquake in the next episode that taints the water supply, and it's going to be more seismic stuff happening in the finale. But I do think that this is going to be included. So, because then we got to end on a light note. We can't end on a cliffhanger. If this was any other show, I would say that episode 18 would end with Bobby opening his eyes. We're us seeing he's alive, and then the season ending there. But this show doesn't tend to really do that. The seasons usually end on a lighter note and not on cliffhangers. So the cliffhangers usually come in the penultimate episodes. Like in season 4, Eddie got shot at the end of episode I think 13. Episode 13 of season 4. And then episode 14, the finale, was them navigating through that. Him getting better, him healing, and then the end of the episode was him going home and being like, everything's okay. Everything's good. We're ending on a light note. That's usually what happens. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen this time, based on previous events. We'll see. As I said, or as I will say in this, again, I don't know where in this reaction this little video is going to go, but as said in this reaction, or at the very end of it, I say that I'm giving myself these next 2 episodes. After these next 2 episodes, I will let myself start to feel and grieve and accept that maybe he's gone. I will work through that myself. I will do that. I will let myself have that. But I'm giving myself these 2 episodes because something still doesn't feel right. Also, again, as I mentioned in this reaction, we don't see him in the coffin. The coffin's closed. It's a closed casket funeral. We don't see his body in there. And it took the army 2 weeks to release his body? Nah. Weird. Or the coroner to release his body, whatever. But, yeah. I don't think he's in the casket. He's not in the casket. No. If it was an open casket funeral and we saw his body there, I would have been more inclined to believe it, and I would have started grieving, and I would have been, okay. We can do that. I say that in this reaction too, so I don't know where this is going, but I still have that last question. Is the coffin actually empty, or is he in it? I don't know. So that's how I'm feeling about this episode. Honestly, really hated it. Yeah. So I'll let you guys get on with the rest of this video, wherever it may be going after this. But thanks for listening. Let me know if you have similar opinions, because I know other people didn't like this episode either. And I just... it's pissing me off. And I needed a few days to really wrap my head around all of it, because it's too much going on up here. Anyway, back to the video. I will see y'all next week for the return of Hot Priest and methane in the tap water. That was 911 Season 8, Episode 17. No, it wasn't. It was 911 Season 8, Episode 16. I can't think right now. I can't do anything right now. Episode 16, The Last Alarm. Hope you guys felt something. I hope it wasn't sad. But let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And I will see y'all next week for Season 8, Episode 17, Don't Drink the Water. See y'all then. Bye.